Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh, and we're here to talk about variant walkers, guys, and all the powers they bestow.
The powers. Yes. So,
Is that the right word? Bestow?
Bestow? I think so.
No, that's I bestow my powers upon you.
Yeah, that's right. I think you're right, yeah. But yeah, guys, so this article came out of Screen Rant. It's really cool. We want to talk about it. It's something that we haven't truly talked about since the end of Daryl Dixon Season 1. Introducing, the new variants, the new powers that we've seen, some powers that we've kind of already seen in the Walking Dead universe, some we may have seen early on in Season 1, but that was just really Season 1, and they really hadn't said, okay, what are we going to do with these zombies yet? And some of it carried over, and then we didn't see anything for a long time, and then we started seeing some variants in the final season of The Walking Dead, and we've seen some cool stuff in Daryl, but are we going to truly see it progress? But we just want to talk about what we've seen so far.
I don't ever think that there was a plan to do variants. I really don't.
No.
I think that was just Frank Darabont just like doing the zombie universe.
Early on,
and it was never meant to be.
Yeah, not like a World War Z kind of thing. Yeah.
I think they added it, guys, as kind of a
later on
new cool thing that, maybe would attract fans, you think?
For sure. Yeah. Plus, here's the thing that, in a way, that they kind of messed up on is what we saw at the post-credit scene in World Beyond. It's like, we have to see them now. We've seen them in Daryl Dixon now. You kind of already opened the door to say, okay, there's faster, stronger variants, and we're seeing it in Daryl Dixon, not as much, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So, basically, number 5, in a sense, is running. So, while zombies with a bit of speed aren't entirely new, the reason for it has changed. In Season 1, the Walking Dead walkers are faster since they're more freshly turned. We did see some of them walking a little bit quicker. I think we did see a few maybe jogging, kind of running, but not too much. Additionally, the wildfire virus, which started the zombie outbreak, is explained kind of back then. But however, later, due to experimentation explored in World Beyond's finale in Daryl Dixon, zombies are quicker for more reason than recent animation, and we got to see that. Really cool in the World Beyond post-credit scene where she was shot, she got up, she kind of walked very quickly towards the door, in a way, remembering that somebody shot her.
It was a lot quicker than we saw other variants doing.
A lot quicker, yeah.
And so this particular one,
the Daryl Dixon is where we saw it really the most.
But we didn't see it like we wanted.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the key.
We haven't seen it to its full extent yet.
I want we've said this plenty of times, guys, and I think you probably know where we're going. I want a full-on Black Summer type running zombie. World War Z is another, equivalent. That type of zombie. Yeah. Like the one that freaks you out like, holy shit, this thing is sprinting at me.
I have to get somewhere.
And like, it would even be cool if there was a scene where one of our characters dies simply because they can't get away in time. Like, they're cornered, they realize this thing's sprinting at them, and it full on tackles them.
Yeah. See, what they haven't really thought of so far in our Walking Dead universe is the rules of Zombieland. And one of the rules, cardio.
Cardio. Yeah.
Cardio. You gotta do cardio.
Double tap.
You gotta double tap that ass.
Well, that's
not that ass, but double tap the head. We don't want any.
That's a little bit different.
We don't want those crazies double tapping zombie asses.
Jeez.
Cutting that out.
Keep it.
Yeah.
What else was there?
Anyway,
can you remember any of the other ones?
The rules in Zombieland.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Safety first.
Buckle up. Buckle up. Always look behind you when you get into like a vehicle. Always know your surroundings. Basically, know your exit points.
Limber up.
That
was a good one.
Limber up before cardio. Yeah, things like that. So, running like Josh said, we haven't seen it to its full extent. We only got to see partial really running in the fighting arena in Daryl Dixon. So we hope to see more. I don't know really if they're going to show a lot more. I mean, Daryl Dixon is the platform for it. Maybe we'll see some in The Ones Who Live, but maybe they'll have to do some other spinoff really focusing on variants, but we'll have to
It'd
wait
be
and see.
really cool if they actually did it in the Ones Who Live, because the perfect opportunity to do that is in the culling facility, and the perfect person to do that to would be Rick, because we could see him react to something that he's never seen before.
Oh, for sure.
And that would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Anyway,
yeah. So the next that we've seen kind of enhance is intelligence. So although co-creator Scott Gimple clarifies that even newer zombie variants aren't actually smart, he shares that there's something going on. This leads into how signs of zombie intelligence are also a result of the scientific intervention already mentioned. Despite Gimple's remark, variants seen in the main show certainly indicate a level of intuitive thought, such as Walker's ability to retain memories, seen when Morgan's wife lingers around their house as if remembering her life, being reanimated. More terrifying instance occurs in the adaptly named final episode named Variant. Here, Aaron, Jerry, Elijah, and Lydia encounter zombies that show signs of intelligence. For example, when one tries to take Lydia's weapon away, or senses humans from a distance and diverts from the herd. And there's another piece of that, which is actually a different power.
That's what I was just going to say.
It's going to be the next one. But,
I was just going to say that one, because that's one of my favorite scenes from a variant.
Yeah.
But yeah, intelligence, this all goes back to TS-19, I think it was, or 17.
TS-19.
19, thank you.
Yeah.
And where the Dr. Jenner said there's nothing there that remains, just the frontal lobe. And this was cool because you saw some aspects of more than just that frontal lobe, I think, existing.
It was dark. There was some things flashing, but it was pretty much dead. And all he said was all that's left is now your not the human instinct, but just that instinct to feed is pretty much, that was it. But seeing some of these have higher intelligence, like in the Walking Dead, where we saw one walker just stop and turn and just divert itself and others another direction.
It was really weird.
It was weird,
but it was like a cool weird. Okay, we've never seen that before. That's awesome. I loved that scene.
Yeah, and then as they mentioned, one just taking Lydia's weapon, and that kind of rolls into the next one, which is climbing and using items. So
particularly the second part.
Yeah. So early in the main show, episode 1 or season 1, episode 2, a walker picks up a rock and bangs it against a department store window as Rick and Glenn hide. We remember that. In the variant episode, a walker climbs a fence to get into the Renaissance Fair's main structure, indicating a high level of dexterity. Plus, echoing season 1 episode, a zombie picks up a rock to hit Jerry, but is intercepted by Aaron. That's what you were wanting to talk about.
That is one of my favorite things.
When we freaked out.
Dude. when I saw that walker pick that item up, knowing that it was going to I don't know if it knew that it was going to use it, but it was almost like an instinct of its past self was to defend itself or use something to its advantage.
Exactly.
That was awesome to see.
That was awesome. It was so creepy. We were like, oh my, what is it doing? It's
just the way it did it.
Picking up a rock.
It's just the way it did it.
Oh, yeah. It was
whoever was the stand-in for that zombie, or the actor that did that zombie,
did a great
the
job.
Movements were awesome.
The movements were great because, it's in a way, I wouldn't say hard to act that way, but you're trying to act like you're dead. You don't have any sense of anything, but you have, in a way, a walker has a sense of, oh, I see something on the ground. I'm going to pick it up and potentially use this to kill this person so I can eat them.
Speaking of the actor, did you the zombie actor? Did you see that message that I sent you? It was something like, if you're having a bad day, just remember that you didn't have to audition as a walker for the Walking Dead. And it shows this room of 50 people auditioning to be a zombie.
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous.
I would love to know what they asked them to do.
It looks absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. I know they don't have to make the noise because they put all that in.
No, it was the way they were walking.
Just the way they were walking and movements.
And they were using noises.
Well, I'm sure they did.
You'll have to see it. We'll watch it after this.
We'll check it out. But yeah, so the climbing and using items, a lot of our characters have seen that. We saw at the fight of Commonwealth, a lot of them were climbing. Negan saw climbing. All of them have seen this new stuff, but when the Walking Dead ended, they really didn't talk about it.
No, it was
they really didn't talk about it, which was kind of sad.
No, yeah.
It makes sense as to why they didn't put it in.
It wasn't a focal point of the show.
It wasn't, yeah.
It was for that episode, and I was good with it.
Yeah, for sure. The next one is super strength. So originally, zombies were fairly easy to overpower if survivors were quick on their feet and used smart maneuvering. But this sense has changed. A notable introduction of the new strength is seen in World Beyond's post-credit scene, as we've mentioned. One scientist turns. She's showing dents in a metal door that she's banging against, like a really strong metal door that no regular human being would be able to use their hands and put massive dents in. And of course, when we saw in Daryl Dixon, where we saw these massively strong walkers just being able to just one episode, these walkers were jumping out, hitting 20, 30 feet in the air, hitting the ground, and still then getting back up as if nothing happened. Like their bones just did not break.
I thought you were talking about the ones that were injected at first.
Well, even that one too.
I didn't even remember that scene. I mean, are we going to say that those were strong simply because they got up from falling, though?
Well, there's one where they had a walker chained up to the wall, and the walker just ripped the chains right out of the wall and ran towards the door, and eventually died because whatever they injected it with, killed it. But still, I mean, you can when you saw them changing in Daryl Dixon, you saw that just massive change, all the veins and whatever the serum they're using is just making them
because of the serum.
Super walkers,
the natural strong ones. So the thing that always bothered me about The Walking Dead, and I think I've said this in videos before, is like kind of treat viewers sometimes like we're idiots. Like we're supposed to expect that a walker that's been a walker for, I don't know, 10, 15 years can easily overpower a human by itself, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I understand the World Beyond one. Like, she was a fresh walker. So I would expect that type of walker to have a lot more strength than one that's been a walker for 15 years.
Right.
But she was different.
She was different.
She was putting dents into the wall or door
in a secure
on
door
the other side of the door.
Yeah, on the other side.
Her impressions of her hitting.
It's almost like a blast door that she was basically slamming against. Yeah.
She wouldn't have been able to do that as a human.
No. It was insane. Yeah.
That's what made it cool.
Yeah. And also going back to the variant episode with Aaron, when Aaron first strikes a walker, it fights back. So that's kind of indicating a level of strength and, self-defense that, okay, Aaron hit him first, but then
could be intelligence on that one too.
That's kind of part of intelligence too, but also strength that it's able to fight back and not just go down with one swing of whatever he hit him with. So yeah, I mean, and also with the super strength, you can also say it kind of goes into the next one is kind of the burners, the acid blood.
This is number one.
This is number one. This is the scariest new variant, dude. It's unreal.
This one was scary because you can turn from it.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't they verify that? Like someone got burnt. Was it the priest?
Yes.
Someone got burnt and turned from it.
Yep.
And it's the blood that probably got so deep that it infected his blood.
Yep.
That's scary.
Yeah, that's scary. Whatever these experiments that they're running in World Beyond, not World Beyond, but Daryl Dixon, it's insane.
Those are experiments, though.
Well, that's
we didn't get clarification.
We didn't get clarification.
We did not.
If we saw in the fighting pit where they injected them with the serum, and they did turn like super walkers, and one of them did, were acid blood, but we haven't really got an explanation as, do these walkers only get this acid blood because of the scientific serum that they're doing?
Or was that one in the wild?
Or are there wild walkers that have mutated and gotten this acid blood
Because
somehow?
I will tell you, the one that Daryl ran into was, of course, in the wild. The question is, was it experimented on before being in the wild? Was it released?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's acid. These acid blood ones are insane, and I loved seeing Daryl's
alien walkers.
Yeah, exactly. I love seeing Daryl's reaction when he got burnt by it when it touched his hand. When it touched him and grabbed him, he was like, "What the fuck?" Right? Yeah. And then you see it even more in the fighting arena where he was using that sword and just all this acid is pouring out, like. When Carol gets over there for season 2, I can't wait to see Carol's face when she runs into this and learning about all these variants.
She may run into something new.
She could run into something new, and that's what it's. I mean, the Daryl Dixon series is good. It's very intriguing. We hope that they do give us more on these variants because we've only gotten sprinkled of it, and kind of what we learned in Daryl Dixon is potentially they are shipping these variant walkers over to the US. They could be shipping them anywhere and just saying, here, let's ship these over and let these countries deal with some of these walkers.
We don't know if that's working with someone.
Yeah, we don't.
And you know who I'm talking about. We don't know if it's working with CRM or if
Exactly.
it's just them being evil.
Just them being evil.
I highly doubt that.
I don't know. I kind
Look,
of
I'm
have
all for the villainous
yeah,
route,
I
but
kind of have an idea it's not connected to CRM, but maybe a partial it is. But I don't know if we'll really get that.
no,
But,
we won't.
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, these powers, guys, we're seeing them a lot more. As we said, we hope we do. We hope we see more in the Daryl Dixon series. We hope we see something in the Ones Who Live. Maybe, more of the scientific experiments that they're doing in their facilities. Maybe they are testing either to kind of find a cure, because that's kind of what they originally were trying to do, and then also they were also creating more of a bioweapon serum to basically blast into cities and destroy them, like they did with Omaha.
Or we might not see him at all.
Or we might not see anything.
And look, that might not be a bad thing, because they might want to keep, the ones who live
the focal story
back to Rick and what it was all supposed to be.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But let us know your thoughts, guys, on these powers. What do you want to see more of? The running, the climbing, the acid blood, the super strength, all together. Just one Hulk-style walker that just cannot be killed.
Rat King.
Ooh, a Rat King. That'd be sweet, dude. One massive walker just leading a horde of others, bro.
I am a firm believer that it should be very simple. Like, running is probably where it stops for me. Like, running and maybe a little bit of strength, but where you stop me is at the acid blood and stuff like that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm a purist, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't.
Actually, there'll be variant walkers where they'll run at you and they'll spit acid blood on you.
Now, come on. Now, come on.
They'll cough on you and give you acid blood.
Isn't there did you see Deadpool 2?
Yeah, but
The
I
alien
vaguely
spitter
remember
guy?
it. Oh, yeah,
X-Force?
Yeah, I vaguely remember that, but yeah, it was so
Yep.
good. So yeah, let us know your thoughts, guys. We cannot wait for the Ones Who Live to start February 25th. That's coming so fast. Cannot wait to see those reactions. Cannot wait to do the reactions for you guys, and can't wait to see it because we cannot wait to see Michonne and Rick Grimes back on screen.
I know, man.
And get the reunion we need. Please.
Yep.
So yeah, let us know in the comments your thoughts. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation.
We're out.